This young man is the only emperor in the world to have attained sainthood through his physical body alone. Yet 4 goddesses have joined forces to confront him and demand the annulment of their engagements. As an emperor, Chen Qinghe did not react with anger. Instead, he calmly advised them to repeat those words if they truly had the courage. Predictably, the 4 of them only grew more emboldened. I, Su Linger, am the noble saintess of the Taihang Palace. With my unparalleled natural talent on the path of the great Tao, given enough time, I am certain that I will not fall short of your standing. You only rely on the influence of the eternal Chen Clan to force me into becoming your Tao companion. Stop dreaming. I am determined to annul this engagement today. Within the grand halls of the eternal Chen Clan, the palace was magnificent and imposing, adorned in resplendent gold. Powerful auras surged, and the esteemed elders whose presence resonated with the flow of the Tao stood frozen in shock. They were all members of the eternal Chen Clan. At this moment, they all stared with strange expressions at the 4 goddesses standing in the center of the hall. Su Ling wore a gown embroidered with azure flowers, her jet-black hair cascading down her back like a waterfall. Her skin, white as jade, held a hint of stubbornness, her crimson lips slightly pursed, and her eyes filled with visible defiance and determination. As the saintess of Taihang Palace, her beauty and talent were among the finest in the entire Eastern Profound Domain. Young Master Chen, although your natural talent is peerless, standing above all since ancient times with a most noble identity, and a reputation that shakes the Eastern Profound, I, Lan Shuang, already have someone in my heart. That engagement was merely an arbitrary decision made by the elders of our clan years ago, and I have no obligation to fulfill it. Beside Su Linger, a woman in a violet gown spoke with a cold demeanor. Her skin was as smooth as congealed fat, her eyes as clear as autumn waters, her beauty capable of leaving men utterly enchanted. Her delicate features were slightly furrowed, and her voice possessed an ethereal quality far removed from that of a mortal. However, the moment Zhouang finished speaking, the goddess in majestic golden armor beside her could no longer contain herself. Chen Qinghe, I am Su Zishi, and I have already become a Tao companion with a disciple of the Dian dynasty. Now that the 2 Dian nations have formed an alliance, I no longer fear the authority of your Chen clan. This engagement must be annulled today. The great hall fell into a deathly silence. The words of the 3 goddesses struck like a thunderbolt, leaving the gathered clansmen of the Chen family in a state of absolute shock. The young master of the Changsheng Chen family had actually been subjected to a public annulment, and by a woman at that. This was a humiliation of the highest order, a disgrace that could not be forgiven. The clan elders present could no longer contain their fury, immediately preparing to seize them. You insolent wretches, ignorant of the vastness of the heavens, to act so rebelliously within our Chen family is unforgivable. The elder who moved was a sovereign, a cultivation powerhouse at the peak of the 9th stage. His terrifying pressure instantly engulfed the great hall before he even unleashed a strike. That formidable aura alone made the 3 women feel as though they had fallen into an icy abyss, their slender frames trembling against their will. Such was the power of a supreme expert. With their own cultivation only at the Nirvana realm, they possessed absolutely no means of resistance. What is this? Does the dignified Changsheng clan truly intend to bully us women? It was the fire phoenix, Lu Yuan. A phantom of a fire phoenix instantly soared into the sky, neutralizing the pressure of the sovereign expert. Feng Yannian stood there with her hair blazing like deep red flames, her enchanting eyes flickering with a faint, smoldering light. With a gentle flick of her alabaster wrist, a marriage contract appeared in her hand. Chen Qinghe, I, Feng Yannian, have obtained the ancient inheritance of my clan. From this day forth, my path is clear and boundless. Do not speak of your Changsheng Chen family. Even throughout the 4 great regions in the central province, a man worthy of me may not even exist. A flame erupted from the woman's hand, incinerating the marriage contract into ashes. Her alluring, bewitching eyes were filled with nothing but contempt. And so what if you are the Changsheng Chen family? My branch of the Phoenix clan has 10,000 years of heritage, settled in Jianmu, possessing 10,000 divine flame. Now that I have acquired the ancient inheritance, given time, reaching the status of an Earth Emperor is not impossible. And you believe that, based on a mere marriage contract, you can possess me, Feng Yannian? How laughable, a man like Chen Qinghe is not even worth a glance in my eyes. Furthermore, the little underworld king of the Wanshou kingdom of the golden-winged Great Pengs has proposed marriage. Once the Phoenix clan and the Wanshou kingdom form an alliance, the demon clans of the Eastern Profound region will all be under our control. Haha, the silence in the Great Hall was so profound that one could hear a needle drop. The marriage betrothal that the Changsheng Chen family had once concluded was now being annulled by the other party right on their own doorstep. Moreover, all 4 divine maidens arrived at once. Throughout the history of the Chen family, this event was truly shocking. The Grand Elder, possessing the highest prestige among the elders present, was also caught off guard. Even though the Grand Elder has lived through several hundred lifetimes, this was his first time facing such a situation. He could not help but ask himself, ever since our seclusion 300 years ago, has the world truly lost all fear of the Chen family's authority? These lowly fallen phoenixes dare to come before a true dragon to wag their tails and show off their arrogance. It is infuriating. It seems the time has come for this world to once again witness the true strength of our Chen family. The Grand Elder steeled his resolve. He was determined to make them all pay the price for humiliating the Chen family. The Chen family has greatly assisted my Chu family, helping the Chu family rise from a third-rate clan to a prominent power ruling over Sichuan. and enabling me to enter the Taihang Palace to cultivate. You have also assisted the Taihang Palace many times, thanks to which I became the Saintess of Taihang, but all of that is not enough for me to marry you. What is it that you Chen family members desire? In the future Chu Linger will surely repay you tenfold. As for this betrothal, I only hope you can annul it. Chu Linger took the betrothal document from her robes, her jade-like fingers squeezed lightly, and the parchment instantly turned to ashes. Young Master Chen, as for me, Lan Shuiying, I already have a beloved. I am grateful for the kindness the Chen family showed the Lan family in the past. However, regarding today's betrothal, for the sake of my own happiness, I Shuiying must annul it. Lan Shuiying also produced a betrothal document with icy energy surging through her snow-white palms. In a flash, the document shattered into fragments of ice. The Chen family's betrothal? This princess has no interest in it. Princess Suzixi of the Great Yan Dynasty, clad in golden armor, spoke with a resolute voice, a cold smile. The marriage contract in his hand was instantly pulverized by the surging essence emanating from his body. This masterstroke by the four of them pushed the atmosphere in the hall to an explosive climax. Very well. The members of the Chen clan had never witnessed such a brazen annulment, and their minds reeled, nearly rupturing with indignation. 7 days, it had been 7 days. Since when had the Changsheng Chen clan been subjected to such immense humiliation? Truly, they are being offered courtesy but lack the wisdom to accept it. Shameless harlots, all of you are wretched harlots. Today you shall all perish. The second elder stepped forward, his supreme-level aura instantly flooding the great hall, while his essence surged forth, encircling the four women in a heartbeat. With but a single thought, these four women would be torn into shreds by his terrifying essence. Yet, the second elder restrained himself. He turned his head to look back. Following his gaze, everyone present in the hall, including those four shameless women, at this very moment cast their eyes toward the resplendent golden dragon throne. The young man, who had been silently listening with his eyes closed, finally opened them at this very instant. A smile tugged at the corner of his lips as he slowly raised his hands. Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, the sound of crisp applause echoed throughout the great hall. Chen Qinghe had transmigrated in the blink of an eye. Images flooded his mind, ruling the eastern profound realm, shaking the four great domains, the Changsheng Immortal Clan, and the formidable status of the young master of the Chen clan. Those 4 words were insufficient to describe his status. Even though his parents had been missing for many years, relying on the vast resources of the Chen clan and his own heaven-defying talent, at the radiant age of 20, he had already attained the terrifying supreme realm. What exactly is the concept of a supreme? It is enough to defy the heavens. As for his peers, the so-called outstanding geniuses, breaking through to the nirvana realm at this age would be considered a blessing from their ancestors spanning dozens of generations, and they would not cease their fanfare until they had announced their supreme talent to the entire world. But what of him? The 2 words supreme carry such immense weight. At this age, throughout history, from the primordial eras of antiquity to the 3 great eras of the present day, this was a singular occurrence. There was no predecessor in the past, and there will be no successor to follow. He had believed himself to be the ruler destined to command this world. Yet before his joy could last even 3 seconds, the piercing words of Su Linger regarding the marriage annulment echoed in his ears. What is happening here? I am already a supreme being, yet they actually dare to come here to annul our engagement? Have they always been this audacious? It turns out that because I had always remained within the clan to cultivate, having never set foot in the outside world, and with the Chen clan having remained in seclusion for 300 years. It is a miracle that anyone in this world even remembers us at all, let alone knowing who this so-called young master of the Chen clan is. Since I have neither revealed myself to the world nor displayed my power, the masses naturally have no idea what terrifying heights this mysterious young master of the Chen clan, who focuses solely on cultivation, has reached. Only the 3 great elders of the clan truly understand the extent of his current strength. That is precisely why those elders were struck with such towering rage just moments ago, to the point that when the great elder heard the 4 of them demand the annulment, his mind went momentarily blank, and his thoughts ground to a complete halt. Damn it, who would believe such a thing if it were told? Who would dare to stand before a supreme being and demand to break an engagement? Who could possibly be so foolish as to throw away a betrothal to a supreme being? Who would dare to annul an engagement right in front of a supreme of the Immortal Chen Clan? Heavens, this is truly madness, yet it has actually happened. The great elder has lived through several lifetimes, and yet this is the first time he has encountered such an absurdity. Where is one even supposed to go to seek justice for something as bizarre as this? But fortunately, Chen Qinghe has finally seen the true nature of these 4 wretched women. Back when the engagement was settled, even though the children were still in their cradles, the influence of the Immortal Chen clan was already secretly at work. Just as Suolinger claimed, her Suo clan in the Western Wilderness was originally a small, nameless family, yet within a few short years they ascended to become a peak clan and the hegemon of the Western Wilderness. And why was that? Was it not due to the Chen clan's constant, covert support providing an endless stream of cultivation resources? Everything provided was of the highest quality in the world, such as medicinal elixirs, high-grade spirit herbs, and even the provision of so-called talents, mechanisms for training experts, establishing supply chains for various forces, and providing a comprehensive end-to-end service. The other 3 women are no different. Do not be deceived by Feng Yannian's current arrogance. Remember that back then, her Feng clan in the demon realm was suppressed so miserably by the Dragon clan, and after fleeing to the Sword Grave, they were again bullied mercilessly by other demon tribes, coming within a hair's breadth of being eradicated from existence. Was it not thanks to the Chen family's assistance that he became the master of the Sword Tomb in a single stride? Along with the 10,000 Beast Kingdom of the Eastern Wilderness and the Dragon Clan of the Northern Sea, they rule over the Eastern Profound Demon Tribe. Thinking of it now, it is truly laughable. Now these four women are either holy maidens or goddesses. They possess peerless grace, and their beauty overwhelms the Eastern Profound region. The number of their suitors could stretch in a line from the Western Wilderness all the way to the Northern Sea. Naturally, it feels as though the young master of the Chen family, who remains indifferent to worldly affairs, is no longer worthy of their status. Perhaps there is the meddling of the families behind them in this matter, or even the hidden agendas of their sects. It is simply because the Chen family has remained in seclusion for 300 years, causing these people to forget the truly terrifying strength of the Changsheng Immortal Clan. Chen Qinghe felt a sense of lamentation in his heart. He never expected that after transmigrating into a supreme powerhouse, he would still be unable to escape the cliché of having his engagement annulled. But enough is enough. Clap, 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 clap. A sharp round of applause suddenly rang out in the silent great hall, and everyone turned to look in astonishment. Chen Qinghe sat in the seat of honor, and at this moment he opened his eyes wide. In those deep eyes there was not a hint of emotion, only an indifference so extreme that it reached the peak, much like a god high above looking down upon all living beings. Very well. Chen Qi spoke, a faint smile on his lips, his tone relaxed. The four divine maidens have decided to annul our engagement. I, Chen Qinghe, have no objections. Great Elder, since I am present, the young master may speak his mind. From this day forward, the betrothal between the four women Chu Linger, Lan Shuang, Su Xixi, and Feng Yanran, and myself, Chen Qing, ends here. Chen Qinghe's indifferent gaze swept across the faces of the four women standing below. Chu Linger defiantly raised her head, her eyes resolute. Lan Shuang frowned slightly and lowered her gaze. Su Xixi's face was filled with shock, her expression complex. As for Feng Yanran, her bewitching eyes sparkled, her crimson lips curled upward, and she exuded an air of arrogance. After all, there was no bond of affection between him and these four wretched women. In fact, this was the very first time they had ever met. Yet, that was quite enough. It would be for the best if they never crossed paths again. Otherwise, he would be unable to restrain himself from unleashing an emperor-grade weapon upon them. Announce this news across the four great regions and the central divine continent. Chen Qinghe paused for a moment, observing the varying expressions on the faces of the four goddesses, the smile at the corner of his mouth deepening. Furthermore, summon back all the experts currently residing in the shadows, and issue a decree from the Chen clan to the Eastern Profound region. From this day forth, regardless of who they are or which power, whether a sect, a clan, or even an individual, whosoever dares to maintain any contact with the families of these four women or their respective sects, forces, or clans shall find the emperor-grade weapon of my Chen clan descending upon them immediately. The great elder was stunned, his aged, wrinkled face slowly tilting upward to scrutinize the young master standing above. The young master, who had always been gentle, calm, and humble in his dealings, seemed to possess a newfound air of dominance today. This old man shall obey the young master's decree. The next instant, the great elder's figure vanished from the main hall. Do not think that such actions will make me submit. I, Sulinger, even if I am left with nowhere to turn, even if I must become a solitary outcast, I will never bow to your authority. Absolutely never. Sulinger's beautiful face flushed bright red. She was so incensed she felt on the verge of madness, her chest heaving violently. Chen Qinghe pursed his lips, bored. Too small, I once thought young Master Chen possessed the conduct of a gentleman and the virtue of a sage. It seems I was mistaken in my judgment of you after all. You pressure me. You harbor hatred for me, so what? I, Lan Joying, am not a mere ornament to be manipulated by others. Well spoken. You wear a pitiful facade, reeking of feigned innocence, yet your heart is as venomous as a viper, and every word you speak is meant to absolve yourself of any connection. What a vicious woman, Tiske, look how it infuriates her. She deserves it. Su Xixi's phoenix eyes were filled with frost, her golden armor shimmering with light, a complex expression etched upon her beautiful face. Chen Qinghe, you will regret this. Su Zixi, I will never fall. What does not destroy me will only make me stronger. Well said. Chen Qing could not help but want to applaud her. Listen closely, prepare to endure the wrath of the Phoenix clan. Feng Yanran let out a cold laugh, a flicker of scarlet flame dancing in her alluring eyes before she departed with ease. Chen Qinghe rested his chin on his hand, watching the backs of the four women as they retreated. He had suddenly forgotten something of great importance. Good heavens, brothers, have you already forgotten the saying? 30 years east of the river, 30 years west of the river? I have yet to even begin the grand finale of this performance. With the Western Desolate Chu clan involved, Brother Huainan, do not blame us for what comes next. Can it be that you are unaware of the actions your own daughter has taken? Damn it, Chu Huainan, if you seek death, do it alone. Do not drag us down to serve as your meat shields. My Zhang family has built a legacy over 13 generations, standing firm in the Western Desolate for over 6 centuries. We are not to be trifled with as your plaything. That headstrong daughter of yours has committed a grave transgression. Why have you, Chu Huainan, become so foolish as well? Daring to go to the Chen clan to annul a marriage engagement, your Chu family truly has the audacity to defy the heavens. From this day forth, my Zhang family draws a line in the sand. We shall have no further relations with your Chu family. Chu Huainan, you are truly a fool, and your entire household is composed of fools. So much for the upright gentleman of the Chu family and the foremost scholar of the Western Desolate. Chu Huainan, you are lower than a pig or a dog. Damn it all, to even dare to cancel a marriage contract with the Changsheng Chen family. I must say I admire your audacity as a man. Do not bother seeing us out. We shall meet again in the future. And wipe that smirk off your face, lest I find it difficult to show mercy when we cross paths once more. The smile on Chu Huainan's face faltered, turning rigid. Though his heart was filled with trepidation, he struggled to maintain his composure and the dignity befitting a patriarch. Honorable brothers, please, there is no need for such misunderstandings. Desperate to maintain his ties with these great clans, Chu Huainan discarded his usual arrogance. He bowed with a fawning smile, although the engagement has been annulled. What does that have to do with the long-standing bonds of friendship between our families? The Chen clan did not name anyone specifically, so why must you all be in such a panic? Furthermore, the Changsheng Chen clan has been in seclusion for over 3,000 years. Surely you all have deduced the reason for this, have you not? As soon as these words were uttered, the gathering in the hall fell into a deathly silence. Every individual present within the Western Desolate region was a figure of immense influence and prestige, whose very footsteps were enough to shake the heavens and overturn the earth, masters of top-tier aristocratic families, and great sects. These masters possessed minds as cunning as foxes. Whatever conclusions Chu Huainan could reach, they were naturally capable of deducing as well, yet none were foolish enough to speak such dangerous truths aloud. Only someone like Su Huainan would have the audacity to act this way at such a moment. It has been 300 years since the Chen clan of the longevity immortal race vanished. Where are they now? For the past century, the Dongshuan domain has been in absolute chaos, plagued by endless slaughter. Has anyone from the Chen clan ever truly surfaced? Not once in these past 300 years has there been a whisper of them. It is as if the longevity Chen clan never existed at all. Factions from all directions have gradually allowed this mysterious clan to fade into oblivion. If it were not for that divine light radiating across the Western Desolation the other day, who would even remember the longevity immortal race? Furthermore, the reason those people were frantically shouting at Su Huainan just now, appearing as if they were on the verge of drawing blades and shedding blood, was merely because these elders were using the situation to vent the deep-seated resentment and frustration in their hearts. The longevity Chen clan is too distant and obscure, but the Su clan of the Western Desolation is right before their eyes. In a mere 100 years, the Su clan has risen to reach the pinnacle of the Western Desolation. With widespread influence and formidable strength, the mere mention of them is enough to strike terror into one's heart. Ancient clans and millennium-old sects of the Western Desolation could only watch in stunned silence as this once obscure Su clan rose like a heaven-defying power. Those elders had certainly considered strangling the Su clan in its cradle back then. It is a pity that the Su clan seems to be protected by a great saint ancestor, leaving everyone too fearful to act rashly. Below the saint realm, all are but ants, let alone the Western Desolation. Even across the entirety of the Dongshuan domain, a great saint expert belongs to the absolute apex of existence. The Su clan is a grand family, other great clans and sects must bow before them, and when the two sides collaborate, they must naturally concede a significant portion of their profits to the Su clan. This fills the various factions with inward rage, yet in the end, they dare not speak their dissent aloud. Just a moment ago, they were dumbfounded, nearly ready to curse Su Huainan's ancestors down to the 18th generation. Seeing this brought a sense of grim satisfaction to everyone present. Yet once the satisfaction passed, it was time to address the primary matter at hand. Su Huainan observed their expressions. Seeing them knit their brows and remain silent, the weight on his heart lifted by more than half. Gentlemen, from the time my father established our foundation to our current peak, it is the foundation laid over 100 generations by our Shou family. It is the heaven-sent virtue bestowed upon our Shou family. It is the long-standing accumulation of our Shou family across many generations. It is the relentless struggle and dedication of every generation of peerless talents within our Shou clan. Shou Huainan's tone was agitated, his entire frame trembling. The Shou family fought its way up from a small nameless clan. A magnificent tapestry of prosperity rose and flourished, slowly unfolding before his eyes as if he had experienced it all himself. Shou Huainan's eyes even brimmed with tears. The Shou family's success today does not rely on the backing of the eternal Tran family. The grandmasters present were left speechless. The true monarch of the West Wasteland has begun his classic display of tears again. Foundation of 100 generations, heaven-sent virtue, long-standing accumulation, spare me the nonsense. That old man is truly shameless. Relying on his daughter is one thing, but to feign such righteousness is nothing short of despicable. But having said that, the Shou family does indeed possess some strength today, though the extent of that strength depends entirely on one's own assessment. Now that my daughter has been blessed with exceptional talent and the honor of being named a holy maiden of the Taihan Palace, the Shou family and the Taihan Palace have become mutual allies. Shou Huainan was overflowing with pride. Whenever he mentioned his beloved daughter, he could not contain his excitement. Furthermore, my youngest son has been blessed to enter the Eternal Lamb family, becoming a black kite guard for them. My fellow brothers, think carefully. Should this marriage proposal involving our Shou family be annulled? The elders of the Eternal Lamb family shuddered, feeling an invisible, suffocating pressure hanging directly over their heads. The Immortal Lam clan dominates the East Huan region, far more imposing than the reclusive Tran family. For the past several hundred years, the Lam family has held absolute sway over the East Huan territory. Their influence and prestige are such that even the peak powers of the realm must bow in deference. Having climbed aboard the great vessel that is the Eternal Lam family, it is no wonder this old man dares to be confident enough to let his daughter annul the marriage. Everyone finally understood. His youngest son had become a black kite guard for the Lam family. The black kite guards are the sharpest blades at the disposal of the Eternal Lam family. Only clans and sects with the closest ties to the Eternal Lam family are granted the honor of sending their kin to serve in such a capacity. Moreover, rumors had circulated that the second divine son of the Lam family once shared an intimate relationship with Sholing of the Taihan Palace. How impressive! The youngest son serves as a guard for the Lam family, and the eldest daughter has climbed the ladder to the second divine son of the Lam family. It is no surprise that the Shou family possesses such arrogance, but the proclamation from the Tran family has already been issued. Today, everyone in the West Wasteland is concerned for their own survival. Brother Nam, do you truly expect us to risk our lives and go to war alongside you based on nothing but your words? The head of the Zhang family hesitated, expressing his concerns. His words echoed the anxieties shared by the various elders present in the hall. Respected seniors, please allow me to offer my personal guarantee. At that very moment, a graceful figure in green robes drifted into the hall. She was a maiden with skin as fair as jade, peerless features, cherry-red lips, and eyes that sparkled with spiritual clarity. Su Linger stepped into the center of the grand hall, a look of arrogance flashing in her eyes as she stood under the scrutiny of countless gazes, and slowly drew a jade pendant from her bodice. With this proof, you may all rest assured, honored seniors. Su Linger stood full of confidence, her cheeks flushed slightly with a hidden sense of triumph. In her hand rested an ancient jade pendant, its surface as dark as spilled ink. The pendant was wreathed in primordial energy with divine runes flowing across it. One glance was enough to know it was no ordinary artifact. More importantly, the character Ling, inscribed in gold, stood out prominently upon the jade. It was a divine rune pendant of the Chen Qinghe clan, which only a divine son of the clan was qualified to possess. There were only 3 divine sons in the Lin clan, making the significance of this token crystal clear. The various powerhouses and elders, usually known for their solemn and rigid demeanor, now watched with burning gazes, utterly mesmerized, their expressions filled with such excitement it was as if they were worshipping a deity. The corners of Su Linger's red lips curled upward involuntarily. You wish for my Su family to be wiped out? You wish to see me, Su Linger, bow my head? Chen Qinghe of the Chongsheng Chen Clan, you are destined to be nothing more than a stepping stone for my future ascension. Within the grand hall of the Changsheng Chen Clan, not a soul could be seen. Laws coiled through the air and divine runes shifted, creating an atmosphere of supreme, suffocating pressure. The space within the hall rippled slightly, and Chen Qinghe stepped inside, having just returned from a journey to the Northern Sea in search of the legendary Dragon Vein Divine Soul. Unfortunately, after half a month of searching, he had returned empty-handed. He was left with no choice but to return. His strength had reached the peak of the 9th stage of the Supreme Realm, yet for 3 years he had been unable to touch the Great Tao of Reincarnation. After much deliberation, he decided to meditate upon the laws of the Great Tao, intending to use their power to reach the threshold of reincarnation. Yet the laws of the Great Tao were profound and obscure. Even one as powerful as a supreme expert found them difficult to comprehend. He had originally intended to use the legendary Dragon Vein Divine Soul to attain enlightenment on the laws of space, but despite searching for over half a month and nearly overturning every secret realm and forbidden ground in the Northern Sea, he had found no trace of it. This inevitably left him feeling somewhat discouraged. The hall was unnaturally silent, save for the flickering of the eternal lamps as wisps of smoke vanished into the air. Dressed in black robes embroidered with gold thread, Chen Qinghe sat upon the dragon sinew throne, his deep, expressionless eyes reflecting a sudden sense of emptiness. The path of cultivation is truly monotonous. Having transmigrated for only half a month, I already find it tiresome. Although the Changsheng Chen clan spans a vast territory, it could be said they occupy half the region. Yet it took Chen Qinghe only half a day to traverse the entire clan grounds. Wait, those women nearly caused me to delay the matters concerning those 4 wretches. Suddenly Chen Qinghe's gaze turned icy cold. It has already been half a month, yet there is still no sign or word of those 4 women. Something about this does not sit right. Inside the grand hall, a black mist emerged, and as the mist dissipated, a mysterious figure cloaked in black robes appeared before Chen Qinghe. Mo Ming, a death warrior of the great saint level serving the Chen clan, at the peak of the 9th stage young master. Mo Ming knelt respectfully, his voice raspy. What is the status regarding those 4 women? Chen Qinghe spoke coldly, his deep gaze instantly causing Mo Ming, a formidable 9th stage great saint, to feel as if he had fallen into an ice cellar, his very breath stagnating. Confronted by the overwhelming pressure of the young master, Mo Ming hastily composed himself and replied, reporting to the young master, the great elder had instructed me to carry out the task, but Chen Qinghe's eyes narrowed. Boom. The primordial energy surrounding Mo Ming's body exploded in an instant, spiraling into chaos. It was clear his heart was gripped by extreme panic, causing even his control over his own internal energy to falter. It is only that this subordinate encountered some resistance. According to my secret investigations, there is a deep hidden truth behind the debt default and the broken engagement. Mo Ming's voice was hoarse, tinged with a slight tremor, as he clearly and meticulously reported every detail they had secretly uncovered. Chen Qinghe's expression became peculiar. Very well, I shall grant you wretched women some recognition for your efforts. I never realized that each of you simple-minded fools was capable of such cunning schemes. But it seems this matter has truly become somewhat thorny, though it seems the Tran clan has truly remained in seclusion for far too long. The Donghuan region is on the verge of forgetting us entirely. Tran Tanha muttered to himself, it is time to exert our full strength. Otherwise, the Donghuan region is about to change masters. If I cannot even manage 4 women, how am I to control the figures of the world in the future? I shall trample the living world beneath my feet. Mac Dange knelt on the ground, listening to the young master's murmurs, his body beginning to tremble with excitement that the 3 million years of seclusion for the eternal Tran clan were finally coming to an end. It is time to let those ants witness a fraction of the supreme power of our eternal Tran clan. Young master, your wisdom is peerless. This subordinate swears to follow you to the death. Mac Dan, unable to contain himself, shouted in obeisance, his eyes filled with devotion as he spoke to the great elder. Reopen the clan mountain and reveal the immortal path for the Tran clan. Mac Dan kowtowed heavily, then quietly withdrew. Yet, not long after he departed, the great elder arrived in the grand hall. Young master, saintess of the Tai Thane Palace, Bok Ling Tu, requests an audience with the great elder, not regarding the decision for the Tran clan to return, but for a different matter. However, the elder's expression appeared strange, making Tran Thon Ha feel uneasy. The saintess of the Tai Thon Palace, Bok Ling Tu, what could she possibly want here? Tran Thon Ha remained wary, struck by a premonition. Could another person be here to annul a marriage engagement? If she dares to open her mouth and request an annulment, I will tear her apart right here and now. The great elder, perceiving the shift in the young master's expression, guessed his inner thoughts and felt a pang of sorrow. My clan's young master has been bullied to such a degree that he has developed an indelible trauma. Ah, have I failed our ancestors? Seeing Tran Thane Ha's killing intent and his rising pressure, the great elder hurriedly cautioned, young master, this woman has come to... The great elder hesitated, suddenly appearing restrained. His weathered and tranquil face was now flushed deep red. You should ask her yourself. Seeing the great elder's complexion, which resembled a liver, Tran Thon Ha became further convinced of his theory. Very well, let her enter. I shall send her on her way with an earth-grade weapon immediately. Tran Thon Ha gritted his teeth and stood up slowly, not to welcome her but to prepare for combat. Use an earth-grade weapon? Is using an earth-grade weapon giving her too much honor? No, not at all. I simply want her to witness the generosity of Tran Thon Ha. I am truly generous to let her die with clarity. The first elder retreated quietly, concealing himself outside the main hall. Perched upon the clouds, the old man widened his eyes, observing his companions, the second and third elders standing close by. Like thieves caught in the act, the 3 old men feared discovery, yet they could not resist stealthily eavesdropping on the situation within. Boom! The palace doors swung open as a streak of white light surged inside. Clad in robes as white as newly fallen snow, she resembled a lotus blooming upon a snowy peak. Cold, solitary, and ethereal, she seemed detached from the mundane world. Her brows were delicate, yet her gaze carried a sharp, piercing intent. Possessing a peerless, heavenly beauty, her jade-like face remained devoid of any expression. She was cold to the extreme. Tran Thon Ha clasped his right hand behind his back. The Changsheng Emperor weapon began to slowly unsheath. The woman in white lowered her eyes, observing the handsome young man clad in black and gold robes. Her thin lips parted. The space surrounding Tran Thon Ha began to ripple. As he channeled his supreme aura, the pressure of the Emperor weapon began to quietly permeate the hall. Yet he swiftly suppressed it. Speak, say the words. You have come to annul our engagement, have you not? Hurry and say it. Though Tran Thon Ha appeared calm on the surface, the Emperor weapon behind him was ready to be fully unsheathed. Behind him, her dark hair danced. Bai Ling Tu stood with her hands clasped behind her back. Her demeanor was icy, her aura filled with pride. This attitude made Tran Thon Ha unable to wait any longer. Bai Ling Tu frowned slightly, recalling the instructions given by her master. After a moment of thought, she blinked, and a forced smile appeared on her cold face. Her slender figure swayed gently. Even though she herself felt that her current posture was likely no different from what her master had commanded, it was a charm that seeped into the bones, enough to make one swoon. But in the eyes of Tran Thon Ha, Bai Ling Tu's movements resembled nothing more than a dying fish struggling on a chopping block. Has this woman gone mad? Why don't you hurry up and annul the engagement? Her thin lips parted slightly as Bai Ling Tu offered a strained smile, her body swaying as she struggled to control her voice. Tran Thon Ha, I have arrived. Crash! The earth weapon resounded within the marriage alliance hall as Tran Thon Ha adjusted his robes and seated himself in the main chair. Bai Ling Tu sat below him, a faint blush spreading across her beautiful face. As the saintess of the Taiking Palace, she began to state the purpose of her visit. Following the orders of her master Long Shuiwei, she arrived at the Chongsheng Chen family to personally propose a marriage alliance. Half a month ago, the Chongsheng Chen family issued a proclamation to the world. After canceling the marriage engagement between their young master and the 4 divine maidens, the great powers of the world began to stir. Unlike the short-sighted Shu family, some ancient sects and holy lands with tens of thousands of years of heritage were far more perceptive. They had truly witnessed and experienced the terrifying hidden depths of the Changsheng Immortal Clan. Not to mention the Chen family at the height of its power. Even if the Chen family were as truly declined as the rumors suggested, they were still not a force to be trifled with lightly. The first to seize this opportunity was the Taiching Palace, one of the 4 palaces whose palace master Long Shouwei brushed aside all dissenting opinions. She ordered her beloved disciple Bai Lingsu to travel personally to the Chen family to request a marriage alliance as the Holy Maiden of Taiching Palace. Bai Lingsu's status and standing were in no way inferior to Chu Linger's. More importantly, unlike Chu Linger, who attained her position through connections, Bai Lingsu's title as the white-clad bloodsword slayer among the prodigies of Dongshuan was truly illustrious. She possessed the status, the strength, and beauty that had no equal. A wife of such caliber, do you desire her? Staring at the woman below with a strange expression, Chen Qinghe felt a sudden headache. This situation was entirely outside his expectations. To be blocked at his own doorstep by a woman proposing marriage was truly bizarre. Bai Lingsu's face flushed slightly. Her expression, which was usually as cold as 10,000-year ice, became somewhat stiff. Sitting in the grand hall, she felt a profound sense of discomfort throughout her entire body. If she were told to take up her sword and kill, Bai Lingsu would never falter. She would dare to strike even a great saint expert with her blade. But to ask her to propose marriage to a man she had never met truly left her feeling flustered and at a loss. Stealing a glance at the handsome man seated above, she saw him furrow his brows, seemingly deep in thought. Bai Lingsu grew even more nervous, her heart pounding incessantly in her chest, more violently than when she once faced a Nirvana great demon in battle. Bai Lingsu parted her crimson lips slightly, her beautiful eyes shimmering with a hint of trepidation. She understood the true strength of the Changsheng family compared to this young master of the Immortal Clan. Before this heaven-favored son, the commander of the 4 palaces who reigned supreme over the eastern profound region, she dared not display even a shred of arrogance. Lingsu knew well that her status was unworthy and her aptitude paled in comparison to her master. She dared not demand more. Even as a concubine, Lingsu would have no regrets. In Bai Ling, serving as a concubine was no humiliation. To become a consort of the young master of the Changsheng Chen family would be a supreme honor for both herself and the Taiching Palace that stood behind her. Chen Qinghe rested his chin on one hand, legs crossed, his expression growing increasingly curious as a flicker of surprise passed through his indifferent eyes. He had seen the dossiers regarding Bai Lingsu before. Draped in white with a blade of blood, her reputation as the slaying maiden among the young prodigies of Eastern Profound was akin to that of a god of slaughter. Do not be deceived by this woman's current fragile and gentle demeanor. When it came to killing, she never showed a shred of mercy. 3 years ago, when the Taiching Palace launched a crusade against a demonic sect, Bai Lingsu, as the head disciple of the palace master, led the expedition. With a single blade in hand, she hunted down the demonic sect's elders, cultivators of the Nirvana realm, and forced them to flee for their lives in terror. The demonic cultivators under the purview of the Taiching Palace feared her to the extreme. It was not just within the Taiching Palace. Across the entire territory of the Eastern Profound region, this woman had carved a path of absolute dominance, and many prodigies of her generation had been defeated by her blade. Even Su Linger had once been bested by her during the Great 4 Palaces Dao discussion. It is said that that woman was nearly cleaved in two by Bai Lingsu, and only survived because a major figure intervened to save her life. Chen Qinghe calculated silently. If a political marriage were to occur, Bai Lingsu was not a poor choice, yet the Taiching Palace behind her lacked the necessary weight. Compared to the Taihong Palace of Su Linger, the Taiching Palace, while also one of the 4 palaces, was effectively the weakest among them. Despite the emergence of a monstrous prodigy like Bai Lingsu, the decline of the sect could not be halted. The current status of the Taiching Palace was precarious, and the situation had likely reached a critical juncture. Otherwise, Long Shouwei, as the palace master, would not have been so eager to offer up her beloved disciple. The very hope for the sect's future in such a manner, and with such an incredibly humble attitude. A colossus like the Changsheng Chen family did not engage in marriage alliances lightly. At the very least, the substance and influence of the other party must reach a certain threshold. Evidently, the current Taiching Palace no longer possessed that. The decline of the Taiching Palace had become all too apparent. Young master, my master gave me strict instructions before she left. As long as you are willing to accept me, from this day forth, the Taiching Palace will follow the dictates of the Chen family. Bai Lingsu was somewhat flustered. She bore a heavy burden on this mission, for the elders and masters of the Taiching Palace had placed their highest expectations upon her. The future path and survival of their sect rested entirely upon her shoulders. She was far from being as dim-witted as Su Linger. She saw clearly the anxiety of her master and the prospects of her fellow disciples, and she knew she had to take a stand. This was the duty of Bai Lingsu. Chen Qinghe sighed, and looking at the earnest plea in Bai Lingsu's expression, he could not help but soften. Her fragile demeanor was truly heart-stirring, yet this matter could not be rushed. He wished to determine if the Taiching Palace possessed the strength to topple the Taihong Palace. Su Linger relied entirely on her clan, the influence of the Taihong Palace, and the shadowy, powerful figures backing her. Since that was the case, Qinghe intended to dismantle all of it, forcing that wretched woman to pay the price, while ensuring she witnessed the true wrath of the Chen family. If I recall correctly, the 4 Palaces Lotus Assembly is to be held soon. Chen Qinghe revealed a gentle smile and asked in a soft voice. Bai Lingsu was taken aback, not understanding why he would bring this up, but she replied honestly, yes, there is 1 month remaining until the 4 Palaces Lotus Assembly. That is plenty of time. Tell me, Lingsu, would you be willing to sponsor my participation? I am rather interested in this grand event. Although Bai Lingsu had not yet received a definitive answer, these words from Chen Qinghe brought her a sense of relief. While young Master Chen had not spoken plainly, he surely intended to visit the Taiching Palace to oversee things. That being the case, there was still hope. She must absolutely not disappoint him, as this was her only opportunity. Stay strong. Bai Lingsu encouraged herself in silence. On one hand, there was the heavy responsibility she carried, and she could not afford to fail. On the other hand, she harbored her own private thoughts. As proud as she was, she had encountered countless peerless geniuses, yet her maiden heart had remained cold, never once stirred by any of them. She knew she was beautiful, and she was well aware of her own talent. If a foolish soul like Su Ling'er could secure a marriage alliance with the Chen family, she refused to believe she was in any way inferior to her. How laughable. I, Bai Lingsu, shall not lose to anyone in this life. Even when it comes to competing for a man, I will never accept defeat. My master once said, if you are to compete, compete for the best, and if you are to sleep with someone, it must be the greatest man of all. I, Bai Lingsu, naturally intend to consort only with the most capable of men. The man observed the woman's small hands hidden within her white sleeves, clenching tightly, her expression one of agitated resentment. Chen Qinghe felt a flicker of unease. His intuition warned him that this woman was far from simple. The Lotus Grand Assembly, held every 3 years, is organized by the 4 great sects of the Eastern Profound region. The scale of this event is immense, reaching a pinnacle of prosperity that far surpasses even the 4 sects Dao Discussion Assembly. It is the moment for the 4 great sects to demonstrate their prowess to the powers of the southern region, a time to flaunt their strength while vying for vital resources. The assembly serves as a venue to recruit elite disciples from all directions. Each time it is held, the atmosphere is exceptionally fervent, with formidable experts from all corners appearing in attendance. It has become the most magnificent grand gathering of the Eastern Profound and Southern regions. This year, the host is Taiching Palace, with the primary venue situated beneath the miraculous peaks of the Green Lotus Mountain. Elders and disciples from the 4 great sects Taiching, Taishuan, Taisudu, and Taihang have all arrived. Look at his senior sister Chu from Taihang Palace. It really is her. Senior sister Chu is so breathtaking, it is almost intoxicating. Senior sister Chu is not only beautiful, but she is also a prominent advocate for the advancement of our women. Several female cultivators, busy preparing the arena, suddenly spotted Chu Ling'er in her green robes and began to buzz with excitement. Senior sister Chu is truly a shining example for us all. She even dared to annul her betrothal with the Changsheng Immortal Clan. I admire her so much. Indeed, senior sister Chu is worthy of being called the saintess of our Taihang Palace. This exemplary action has set a perfect standard for all the female cultivators of Taihang Palace. Quite right, quite right. We women should act this way so that those men finally see how formidable we truly are. Who said that a woman cannot be independent? We female cultivators are in no way inferior to them. Without relying on male cultivators, we can still lead exceptional lives. Not long ago, I also annulled my engagement to my own fiancé. What on earth is the Xiao clan anyway? A minor clan from the east is simply not worthy of this young lady. A petite and beautiful female cultivator boasted proudly. Instantly, the female cultivators nearby gazed at her with admiration. Well done, senior sister Song. I have long said that Xiao Huohuo is a talentless good-for-nothing, utterly unworthy of you. Exactly. In the future, you, senior sister, are destined to attain the path of the great emperor. You are a peerless prodigy. The fair young nun wore an expression of deep indulgence, and with an arrogant tone she spoke. I too have been inspired by senior sister Su. We female cultivators must dare to love and dare to hate. That cursed clan of my fiancé has no reputation to speak of. There's no way I would ever stoop to marrying him. If I am to marry, it must be a personage such as young Master Lin. The young nun grew somewhat agitated, and as she mentioned young Master Lin, her eyes filled with adoration. The other female cultivators nearby shared the same expression. Young Master possesses a noble status and a talent that is 1 in 10,000. Only a man of such caliber is worthy of us. In the future, when I seek a cultivation partner, I shall use young Master Lin as the standard. If they lack his status and talent, then those pieces of trash are not even fit to carry our shoes, let alone be considered. The more the female cultivators spoke, the more agitated they became, each lost in their own wild fantasies. As Su Ling'er walked along the path, she overheard much of the gossip surrounding her. There was praise and admiration, which only made the smile upon her lips grow more arrogant. Su Ling'er felt more convinced than ever that her decision to annul the engagement was correct. Within the residence of the Taihang Palace, she addressed her master. Young Master Lin will be attending this upcoming Lotus Grand ceremony in person. When that time comes, I fear I will be unable to remain by your side to receive the guests from all corners of the world. Su Ling'er spoke to the master sitting above, her beautiful face flushed with a rosy hue. It is no matter. This is a good thing. You need only remain by young Master Lin's side. You need not concern yourself with other matters. Mo Rianchong smiled and waved a hand at her beloved disciple below. Su Ling'er's beautiful eyes fluttered, and she gracefully took flight, landing before her master. Mo Rianchong took her disciple's hands, wearing a smile as she spoke with great intimacy. Ling'er, you have already annulled the engagement with the Chen family. In the future, when you are by young Master Lin's side, you must conduct yourself well. This is for your own future happiness and serves as a pillar of support for our Taihang Palace. You must grasp this opportunity firmly. Su Ling'er nodded with a smile, appearing somewhat bashful. As for the Su family, you need not worry. With our Taihang Palace providing protection and support, this western wasteland will not fall into chaos. Mo Rianchong gave a cold laugh, offering comfort. The Chen family. That Chen family has long since ceased to be what they once were. We have no need for fear. Taihong Palace is your home, and we fully support your decision. Once you have officially united with young Master Lin the position of Palace Master shall be yours. Su Ling'er hurriedly knelt and said respectfully, this disciple does not dare. Regarding the position of Palace Master, this disciple would never harbor such a presumptuous thought. Mo Rianchong helped his disciple to her feet, his smile growing even more radiant as he said, Ling'er is truly a good disciple to her master. The next day, the Grand Lotus ceremony officially commenced. Qinghe Divine Mountain stretched for tens of thousands of miles. The Lotus Plaza where the main event was held was resplendent and magnificent. Pure white snow lotuses glowed with radiance, the jade ponds boasted picturesque scenery, and the atmosphere was myriad and grand with rows of beautiful, elegant female cultivators, truly a sight beyond description. High above, numerous flying ships with sharp divine lights nearly blanketed the entire sky. Major influential powers from all across the southern region were present, with at least half in attendance. In particular, a vast gathering of the younger generation's top geniuses had assembled. Great Elder Sufeian of the Taiking Palace presided over the proceedings, and the palace masters of the 3 remaining palaces also revealed themselves, greeting guests from all directions at the Lotus Plaza. For a moment, the entire land was bustling with immense activity. Elder Su, why is Palace Master Long not visible today? During the Granton ceremony, guests from all walks of life had settled into their seats. Amidst the loud laughter and conversation, Mo Rianchong asked Su Feiyan, who was seated beside him, about such an important affair. Given that she was the palace master of the host organization, Taiching Palace, her absence was truly somewhat inappropriate. Now that the powers of the southern region had gathered, this action by Long Shuwei inevitably appeared quite dismissive. Has Palace Master Long encountered some difficulty? Your Taiching Palace is truly becoming increasingly reckless. For such a grand event, the Palace Master does not even deign to come and welcome us. The 2 Palace Masters of Taichu and Taishuan asked coldly. They would not miss such an excellent opportunity to kick a person while they were down. Su Feiyan was a beautiful woman adorned in a violet palace gown, possessing an otherworldly countenance and a sophisticated smile. Sitting alongside the 3 palace masters, she appeared not the least bit inferior, and facing the provocation from the 3 individuals, she merely smiled gently and replied indifferently. The palace master is attending to an important guest who requires her personal reception, therefore she is unable to divert her attention to other matters at this moment. Just how significant could this honored guest be? Could it be that the heroes of the southern region gathered here are all eclipsed by this single individual? Facing Mo Rianchong's pointed questioning, Su Feiyan gave a soft laugh, thinking to herself, do those gathered here truly possess the qualifications to be compared with such a person? Yet, Su Feiyan offered no rebuttal. She merely smiled, not bothering to pay any mind to the insolent wretch before her. Mo Rianchong, however, refused to let the matter rest, speaking with an air of arrogance and haughty disdain. If Long Zhewei refuses to appear and that young master is provoked, the Taiching Palace will be unable to bear the consequences. A flicker passed through Su Feiyan's eyes, momentarily puzzled by his words, but in the very next moment the atmosphere in the courtyard shifted abruptly as the assembled elders rose in unison to pay their respects to young Master Lin. The crowd was left in astonishment at the youth before them, never expecting the second young master of the Chen Qinghe clan to appear in this place. Is that truly the second young Master Lin? I see nothing particularly special about him. Silence, you rebellious fool. Do not speak so recklessly. A junior sitting in the back who voiced his dissatisfaction was immediately rebuked harshly by his elder. It seems Saintess Su shares a very intimate connection with second young Master Lin, does she not? A talented man and a beautiful woman, truly, they are a match made in heaven. Who would have thought the Taiching Palace would manage to climb such a massive tree as the Chen Qinghe clan? Su Feiyan was even more shocked to see that the person beside second young Master Lin was none other than Su Ling'er. Su Ling'er now wore a look of immense pride as she accompanied second young Master Lin. To her, this was a profound honor. Lin Chen smiled faintly at the crowd. Wherever his gaze fell, it was met with looks of reverence and fervent devotion. You elders are too kind. I have merely come to join the festivities. Having said this, he proceeded with Su Ling'er to take his seat at the very center of the primary chairs. With the arrival of second young Master Lin, there naturally had to be someone from the Taiching Palace to receive him. Su Feiyan dared not delay. She left her seat to approach Lin Chen, personally offering him 2 cups of celestial wine. For second young Master Lin to grace our assembly with your presence today is an immense honor for our Taiching Palace. On behalf of the Taiching Palace, I thank you, second young Master Lin, for your honored arrival. Su Feiyan raised a cup of celestial wine and finished it in one go, instantly drawing. Lin Chen gazed upon the beautiful woman before him, taking in her curvaceous and alluring figure. Her mature demeanor and exquisite beauty caused his eyes to brighten, a strange glint flashing across his gaze. However, he did not act rashly. Instead, he lifted the wine glass before him in the presence of everyone. The Lotus Grand Assembly is hosted by the Taiching Palace today, so why is the White Dragon True Monarch nowhere to be seen? As these words left his lips, Su Feiyan's expression stiffened and her smile gradually faded. The countenances of those present also shifted slightly. This young Master Ling'er spoke with logic. During such a grand and prosperous assembly, the princess of the Taiching Palace, as the host, remained absent. It was inevitable that people would grow suspicious. After all, Everyone present here was a figure capable of summoning wind and rain across the southern region, and even the younger generation consisted of dragons and phoenixes among men. Long Shouwei has not appeared this time. Does she hold us in such contempt? Su Feiyan pressed her lips together, though internally she was growing panicked. When she met Lin Chen's sharp predatory gaze, she found herself momentarily speechless. Indeed, where is Princess Long? Why does she refuse to show her face and pay us the proper respect? With the princesses of the three palaces gathered, only Princess Long is missing. What does the Tai King Palace intend by this? Could it be that we are considered unworthy of being received personally by the White Dragon True Monarch? These challenges erupted from within the crowd, and the atmosphere in the plaza suddenly grew oppressive. A corner of Lin Chen's mouth curled upward as he glanced at the young woman, Chu Linger beside him, smiling in satisfaction at the man before him, a flicker of coldness passing through his eyes. Mo Rencheng smiled even more radiantly, eager to see Su Feiyan humiliated. The other two princesses maintained expressions of indifference, as if this were no concern of theirs. With the Tai King Palace being pressured, they hoped only for its collapse so they could easily divide its vast resources. In the center of the plaza, a space in the void twisted and distorted. From within the rift, a trail of white silk slowly drifted out, followed immediately by the emergence of three figures. What is the meaning of this? Princess Long was merely busy conversing with me for a moment. Have you all become so impatient already? Chen Qinghe cast a glance and immediately locked eyes with young Master Linger, who sat at the head of the table alongside Chu Linger. That treacherous woman let out a cold laugh, causing the great masters present to stand up in a panic, their eyes filled with suspicion and dread. It is young Master Chen of the Chongsheng Chen family. Young Master Chen has arrived. Instantly, everyone gathered around Chen Qinghe, each one approaching with profound reverence, bowing to greet him. The arrival of Chen Qinghe directly pushed the atmosphere of the courtyard to a fever pitch. The crowd jostled and shoved, all eager to catch a glimpse of the demeanor of this young master of the Chongsheng Chen Clan. The smile on Lin Chendong's lips froze, and his dark eyes shimmered with a fleeting icy glint. What was originally his stage had in this moment changed masters. My apologies to you all. Princess Long had urgent matters to discuss with me, causing this slight delay. I hope the seniors present will not take offense. Chen Qinghe spoke calmly, his gaze sweeping across the entire assembly. His sword-like eyebrows were etched with sharpness, and he naturally exuded an aura of authority that commanded respect without the need for anger. Draped in a black and gold silk robe, his bearing was noble and refined, his handsome face seemingly sculpted by the heavens. Every gesture and movement emanated a kingly grace that compelled others to admire him. Those present secretly compared him to the esteemed young Master Linger, and in their hearts they already had their answer. For young Master Chen to humble himself and grace us with his presence is truly our good fortune. It brings the utmost glory to this assembly. Chen Qinghe's ears were filled with nothing but praise, while conversely, young Master Linger and Su Linger on the other side were left completely ignored. Su Linger frowned as she watched Chen Qinghe surrounded by the crowd, her expression cold and indifferent. Upon seeing Bai Lingsu accompanying him at his side, her heart burned with even greater indignation. I only called off the engagement a month ago, and this woman, Bai Lingsu, has already rushed to cling to him. She is truly shameless. It was a waste of time for me to consider her a formidable rival. It seems now that Bai Lingsu has long been unworthy of being compared to me. She knows only how to wag her tail and beg for a man's pity. What a brazen harlot. The more I think about it, the angrier I become. Su Linger gritted her teeth in fury. Was that treatment not meant for her and young Master Linger? She suddenly stood up and marched forward. Chen Qinghe, why have you come here? This is the Lotus Assembly of our four palaces. What business does it have with your Chen clan? Our four palaces did not extend an invitation to your Chen clan. Su Linger's eyes widened in fury as she pointed at Chen Qinghe and shouted. That is correct. The entire venue fell into a deathly silence. The atmosphere seemed to freeze in an instant. Everyone present stood agape, unable to believe their own eyes and ears. The grand elders exchanged strange looks with one another. Observing the arrogant and haughty demeanor of Chu Linger, one could only conclude that this woman had surely lost her mind. Is this woman a fool? Does she dare to address young Master Tran in such a manner? The rest of us are scrambling to curry favor with him, yet she is here playing the role of a rebel. If it were not for the weight of Chu Linger's status, the venerable elders present would have already struck her down without hesitation. I have received an invitation from the Tai Thon Palace. Why should I not be permitted to attend? Tran Ton Ha looked at the Chu Linger before him and gave a cold laugh. These people truly did not know the meaning of life and death. To dare act so insolently toward him in this situation, is she truly so eager to be reincarnated? This is the southern region, not your Tran family estate. You would be wise to conduct yourself with some restraint. Chu Linger remained unrelenting, her words even carrying a hint of a threat. In her estimation, the southern region was the territory of the four great palace gates, and the Tran family held no sway here. Ding! A streak of crimson light, serpentine and violent, erupted forth with immense speed, tearing through the void. The sound of a ringing blade pierced their ears, making the onlookers feel as though their eardrums were about to shatter, followed immediately by the sensation of an incredibly terrifying sword intent. However, the sword intent alone was not enough. To truly astound the venerable Saint Realm experts present, the crux of the matter lay in the unique, murderous aura embedded within that blade, which was piercingly clear. Everyone present shuddered as they cast their eyes toward the scene, And as expected, Chu Linger felt her vision blur, suddenly overwhelmed by a profound sense of impending doom, her body trembling beyond her control. The next instant, a blue light erupted from a magical artifact before her. Boom! Sword energy surged, the artifact's power collided with it, and both vanished into thin air. Chu Linger had narrowly escaped death, and before she could recover from her shock, her beautiful eyes suddenly froze as above her head, a lock of her hair drifted slowly down before her eyes. Bai Lingsu stood clad in garments of snow white, while upon Chu Linger's delicate face, her anger flared and her crimson lips tightened. Her eyes locked onto the woman in white standing beside Tranthan. White robes and a blood-stained blade, the reputation of the to dare and brandish a sword on an occasion such as this. I truly do not know if she is merely heartless or utterly reckless. Tranthan gained a new perspective on Bok Ling too. Young Master Chen was my guest too. If you dare to disrespect him again, clang, the blood-red sword pointed downwards, its blade trembling violently. This action caused the gathered elders to recoil in terror, fearing they might be implicated. This woman truly dared to strike, her threat was immense. Lin Chen let out a cold laugh, retracted his magic artifact, and stepped to the side of Chu Lingyi. The saintess is indeed as rumored, and I am impressed. However, it seems you hold yourself in far too high regard. Lin Chen took a step forward, his internal energy erupting with divine runes glowing and hovering behind him. The Xianqin realm. Lingyi, the young master, has actually attained the Xianqin realm. At his age, he is truly a monster of talent, truly worthy of the Changsheng Immortal Clan. Such innate talent is heaven-defying indeed. Barely past 20 and already in the Qianqin realm, he certainly has the potential to attain the great Tao in the future. The Qilin, son of the Lin family, is indeed extraordinary. Amidst the astonished gazes of the crowd, Lin Chen wrapped one arm around Chu Lingyi's slender waist, while the other hand raised a small, radiant golden pagoda. The pressure of the Qianqin realm, overwhelming and sky-covering, surged like a turbulent tide toward Bakla Tu and Tranthan. Tranthan, this is the southern region. It is not the place for your Tran family to cause chaos. As soon as Lin Chen finished speaking, a massive explosion echoed through the void, shaking the firmament and tearing through the sky as terrifying auras poured out from the fissures. It is the Black Abyss Guards. This is the aura of great saints, 3 great saints, 6 minor saints, and the rest at the Nirvana realm at the very least. These Black Abyss Guards are indeed the inner forces of the Lin family. With such a formation, no one across the entire southern region could hope to oppose them. In the void, dozens of figures with powerful auras stood imposingly in the sky. They wore divine armor with black patterns, held mysterious crystal spears, and bore the golden emblem of the Lin family on their chests. They were indeed the Black Abyss Guards. These dozens of men were Lin Chen's personal guards, and their strength was truly fearsome. Long Zhifi's burning red eyes scanned the leader of the figures in the sky. The aura of that great saint was the strongest of them all. Without a doubt, it was a peak 9th stage great saint. She frowned slightly, glancing at her beloved disciple Bok Lin To and Tranthan by her side, as the intent to retreat gradually took hold in her heart. If they were to offend the Lin family in order to support young Master Chen, their Taiching Palace would be unable to bear the consequences. Bai Lingsu pressed her red lips together, her complexion turning slightly pale. Her right hand, gripping her sword, trembled almost imperceptibly. The pressure exerted by Lin Chen's Cancun realm cultivation was overwhelming. With her strength currently at the Nirvana realm, it was becoming far too difficult to endure. Yet she stood her ground alone, bearing the weight without uttering a single sound. Amidst the stubborn coldness in her eyes, Bai Lingsu suddenly felt a warmth in her left hand. A surge of pure origin energy flowed into her body, and the pressure weighing upon her vanished without a trace in an instant. Long Xiaowei glanced over, a smile appearing on her face. She knew the time had come to make a decision, but just as Long Xiaowei prepared to step forward, she suddenly halted. Chen Qinghe had already made his move. Linger, do you intend to intimidate me with these people? Chen Qinghe grasped Bai Lingsu's small hand, chuckled and glanced up at the menacing Heiwen guards hovering in the sky. He remained completely unbothered. After all, she originated from the Immortal Clan. It would be one thing to put on airs in front of others, but to act in such a manner before me, Chen Qinghe. I truly wonder how you have managed to survive until this day. Lin Chen was stunned. He had not expected that, in such a dire situation, the man before him would dare to speak with such arrogance. Upon what did he rely? Was it merely the fact that he was the young master of the Chen family? But I, Lin Chen, am in no way inferior to your Chen family. After 3 million years of hiding, why have you finally crawled out of your hole? Do you not feel any shame? Chen Qinghe, times have changed. Do you truly believe I dare not kill you? Su Linger had by now regained her former arrogance. She held her beautiful face high, her slender frame, leaning coquettishly against Lin Chen's chest. Her eyes fixed coldly upon the hands of Chen Qinghe and Bai Lingsu clasped together. Truly a pair of shameless scoundrels. Young master, why bother wasting words with him? Would it not be simpler to just kill him and be done with it? Su Linger whispered honeyed words into his ear, a look of cruelty clouding her beautiful features. Linger, you are merely relying on your numbers to bully the weak, but I too have brought a few people with me. The moment Chen Qinghe finished his sentence, the space around them began to distort and rumble violently. High above, torrents of energy erupted, tearing across the firmament. An overwhelming pressure, surging like tidal waves, descended upon the world. The very heavens and earth trembled, as if on the verge of collapse. A resplendent path of golden light unfurled, and figures radiating divine brilliance stood tall within the void. Great saints, 9 greats, this cannot be possible. 9 great saints. Is this truly the strength of the Chongsheng Chen clan? The entire assembly stood frozen in shock, their eyes wide and vacant as they gazed toward the sky. The 9 figures cloaked in black robes stood between heaven and earth, their immense great saint pressure causing all who were present to tremble in terror. 9 great saints. This formidable lineup is enough to sweep across the southern region. Lin Chen's face was drained of all color. He could not believe the scene before him. This man had actually mobilized 9 great saints. How could he? How could such peak-tier power be deployed in such numbers all at once? Given his status, 3 great saints would have already been an excessive display. Even that much was only achieved after he had pleaded desperately with his father. One must understand that a great saint is already a peak-tier power in this world. Aside from the peerless supreme sovereigns, great saints are essentially the most powerful beings of the current era. That must be it. This is surely the entirety of the Chen family's great saint reserve. The only reason Chen Qinghe is playing such a grand hand is to make a show of force for once. Yes, that must be it. These 9 great saints are undoubtedly all that the Chen family possesses. Moming, why are you still standing there? Simply slaughter them all. Qinghe's indifferent command left those present with parched throats, unable to stop themselves from drawing a cold breath. Is he truly intending to strike? Are 2 great Chengsheng immortal clans really going to war just like that? And they are resorting to lethal force as well. Moming did not dare to hesitate in the slightest. He immediately led the charge, spearheading the great saint experts as they lunged directly toward the Lin family's Black Abyss guards. The 2 sides clashed in a chaotic battle within the void. Boom! The void shattered, and the combatants from both sides broke through the dimensional barrier, surging into the beyond heavens. If they were to fight within this realm, this piece of heaven and earth would be unable to withstand the battle. They had no choice but to fight to the death in the beyond heavens. Chen Qinghe, you have my... Inciting the conflict first, Lin Chen gritted his teeth, his heart bleeding with rage. Facing 9 great saints, his Black Abyss guard detachment stood absolutely no chance of victory. Tran Thonha looked at the buffoon dancing before him. This pair of man and woman were truly a match made in heaven. Damn it, you 2 fools. At a time like this, what good do such hollow words serve? Seeing the indifferent attitude of his opponent, a surging flame of fury ignited within Lin Chen's heart. Reflecting on his life, the second young master of the Lin family had never endured such humiliation. Today his dignity had been utterly stripped away. If he could not reclaim his standing, the reputation of the Lin family would be ruined at his hands. He stepped forward aggressively, the small golden pagoda in his right hand launching into the air, descending to suppress Tran Thonha. The power of this artifact was immense. None below the Saint Realm could withstand it. Young Master Bai Ling Su drew his blood sword, intending to intervene, but suddenly felt a warmth against his palm. Tran Thonha smiled at her, and boom! As the small golden pagoda approached Tran Thonha, within a radius of 10 feet around his body, he simply flicked his sleeve, and the small tower detonated instantly. In a flash, it shattered into fragments scattered across the ground. Lin Chen's eyes widened in shock, unable to believe how this man could achieve such a feat. It was an absolute certainty that no one below the Saint Realm could resist it. But before he could process the thought, an ethereal palm imprint suddenly manifested before him. Terrifying aura erupted in an instant. Slap! The sound echoed throughout the space, leaving everyone stunned, their eyes wide and jaws agape as Lin Chen's figure was sent flying by the strike, tumbling to the side. The force of the blow was truly monstrous, sending him crashing into a stone pillar before he finally came to a halt. As he struggled to his feet in a wretched state, everyone could clearly see a distinct handprint imprinted upon his swollen face. Blood trickled incessantly from the corner of Lin Chen's mouth. His teeth were knocked loose, and his hair hung in disarray. He slowly raised his head, his gaze filled with a mixture of fury and terror. After the slap, Tran Thonha casually brushed his hands, looking down at Lin Chen as he laughed. You enjoy putting on a show? Things have reached this point, yet you still dare to posture before me? I shall send you flying. Lin Chen gnashed his teeth, his face twisted in deep hatred and explosive rage. Tran Thonha, do not go too far. You know the consequences of your actions. Slap! The ethereal palm imprint manifested again, and before the eyes of all, Lin Chen's body was launched into the air, spinning twice. This blow left him dizzy and disoriented, the pain bone deep. His body felt as though it were falling apart, his breaths coming in ragged, shallow gasps. Slap! The ethereal palm imprint appeared once more. Boom! But this time a distortion in space intercepted the blow. Rumble! The void shattered and heaven and earth trembled. Every person present suddenly felt a sense of suffocation. A supreme pressure vast enough to cover the sky and earth swept downward. Those with weaker cultivation levels immediately coughed up blood. Even the powerful, such as Nam Nok and the various sages, turned deathly pale, unable to steady themselves. Tran Thonha's gaze narrowed as he flicked his sleeve. A halo of light manifested around his body. Beside him, Bok Lintu, Longtui Fine Great Elder Defiant, instantly felt their burdens lifted. That terrifying pressure vanished in an instant. Crack! Space fractured, and an old man in white robes stepped forth from the rift. This supreme elder, with his crane-like hair and ethereal demeanor, radiated an endless flow of Taoist energy with every movement. As he flicked his sleeves, the shattered void calmed. The Black Abyss Guardians and Modon's forces simultaneously emerged from beyond the heavens. Of the Black Abyss Guardians' 2 great sages, only one severely wounded great sage remained, along with a few subordinates at the Nirvana realm. Under the forceful intervention of the 2 Supreme Elder, Modon's group was compelled to cease their aggression. Young Master Tran, Why must our two houses descend into such chaos? My young master has been greatly disrespectful, and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive him. The elder's eyes were sharp as torches, fixed upon Chen Qinghe. His tone was indifferent, yet he did not dare to underestimate the young man in his heart. Having intentionally released his pressure earlier, he knew that the great sages present had all faced a formidable enemy, struggling to withstand even a fraction of it. Conversely, this young master of the Tran family had simply flicked his hand and neutralized more than half of his momentum. This sparked doubt in the elder's mind, leading him to probe with his divine sense only to find he could not fathom the youth at all. The strength of the young man before him was truly unfathomable. With the appearance of a supreme, the entire arena fell into a deathly silence, punctuated only by heavy, ragged breathing echoing throughout. Long Tuyetvi's blood-red pupils constricted, she vaguely sensed that something was amiss. It was the aura of a supreme. The aura of a supreme. As the princess of the Tython Palace, and at the peak of the 9th level of the Great Sage Realm, Long Tuyetvi's strength was considered peerless in the southern region. The reputation of the White Dragon True Monarch had echoed across the eastern Xuan region for over 100 years. Compared to her beloved disciple Bak Ling Tu, the blood on her own hands from years past marked her as truly insane. Yet for the first time, Long Tuyet felt a surge of panic, doubt, and fear in her heart. It was hard to believe, but that faint aura of a supreme originated from Chen Qinghe. It was right beside her. She absolutely could not have sensed it incorrectly. But looking at the great elder Tufai Yin and her disciple Bak Lin Tu, neither seemed aware of anything. Could it be that she was merely too tense and had misread the situation? Chen Qinghe's expression remained calm. The fact that the opposition had sent a supreme to intervene meant nothing to him. He had long anticipated that Lin Chen was the second young master of the Lin family. How could he not have a protector by his side? Elder Tu, this man is too arrogant. Quickly kill him here and now. Lin Chen was helped to his feet by Su Linger, who stood by his side. He immediately let out a furious roar, glaring at Chen Qinghe with eyes burning with venomous hatred. My Chen family has long since declared that no faction is permitted to have any dealings with the Su family of the Western Wilderness. Clearly, the second young master of the Lin family had paid no heed to this warning. For this, senior, you must provide an explanation. Chen Qinghe's objective was crystal clear. It was Su Linger and the Su family of the Western Wilderness. None of these 4 women shall escape. They truly believed that clinging to the Changsheng Lin family would allow them to sleep soundly. What a naive delusion. Elder Su's eyes wavered. Facing this young master of the Chen family, even as a supreme, he dared not show the slightest negligence. He was not a brainless, reckless fool like Lin Chen. As a member of the Chongsheng Immortal Clans, the strength and hidden depths of the Chen family were in no way inferior to those of the Lin family. When confronted with a power of such magnitude, even a supreme must weigh their actions with extreme caution. Today's incident was the fault of my young master. On his behalf, this old man offers an apology. Elder Shu's voice was aged, his tone filled with sincerity. Yet, before the eyes of the gathered masses, he bowed deeply to Chen Qinghe. The onlookers could scarcely believe what they were witnessing. This was a supreme, after all. Consequently, the way the heroes of the southern region looked at Chen Qinghe shifted entirely. They were forced to reconsider everything. How could the situation regarding the Chongsheng Chen family have escalated to this point? Su Linger's beautiful eyes widened, her mouth agape in astonishment at the scene before her. Could one as powerful as a supreme truly be forced to bow before Chen Qinghe? Was this the true authority of the Chen family's young master? But clearly, the Chen family had already... Su Linger felt as if her mind had been struck by a heavy blow. Her slender frame retreated, unable to process the reality of the situation. Crack, the void behind Elder Su distorted, revealing a shimmering passage. The old man cast a glance at Lin Chen, then swept his sleeves, pulling the young man and the remaining Black Abyss guards into the portal before vanishing. As for the affairs of the Western Wilderness, my Lin family shall absolutely refrain from interfering. Regarding today's events, I implore young Master Chen not to take offense. As Elder Shu's voice faded away, their silhouettes vanished completely from the heavens. They have left? The heavy stone, the arrival of the Supreme Elder truly sent a tremor through the hearts of everyone present. Looking back at the young master of the Chen family, his demeanor remained composed and elegant, commanding involuntary admiration from those watching. As for that young master Lin, he simply could not compare. Su Linger was now left entirely alone. The position of the Lin family clearly held no regard for her. She stood isolated in the middle of the arena, and her master, the master who held such a place in Su Linger's heart, ignited a flicker of hope within her. Her eyes searched desperately, but she suddenly realized that her master's figure had long since vanished. The forces of the Taihong Palace had departed from the courtyard unnoticed by anyone. It cannot be. It simply cannot be. My master would never abandon me. Only a short while ago, she had promised to support my decision. The Su family and the Taihang Palace were supposed to be each other's pillars of support. Su Linger found it impossible to believe, yet no matter how she tried to console herself, the truth before her was inescapable. Had her own master and sect truly forsaken her? Why? Was it all because of this Chen Qinghe before her? On what grounds does he command such influence? Is the Chen family truly that formidable? Su Linger's eyes grew vacant. She had become a laughingstock. Standing alone, she faced the mocking and scornful gazes of the crowd. Where was the favored daughter of heaven from before? In this moment, she was no different from a dancing clown. Her status had plummeted in the blink of an eye. Haha, you are all nothing but deceivers. Clang, Su Linger's sanity crumbled. She looked to the heavens and laughed maniacally before suddenly drawing her sword and lunging toward Chen Qinghe. Her sword momentum was like a rainbow, her beautiful face twisted into a mask of insanity. A blood-red sword beam cut through the air like a rainbow piercing the sun. Its sword intent and momentum were manifold stronger than Su Linger's. Striking after yet arriving first, Bai Lingsu swung her sword, directly batting Su Linger backward. Without slowing her momentum, Bai Lingsu surged forward with a fierce aura, killing intent rising in her beautiful eyes as she rushed to slay Su Linger. With a single strike, she sent the spiritual sword flying from her opponent's hand, then delivered a powerful kick, sending Su Linger sprawling several meters away in a wretched state. Finally, she stepped onto her opponent's body, raising her blade to drive it straight into Su Linger's forehead. This madwoman is truly ruthless in her strikes. Chen Qinghe widened his eyes. In the span of a single breath, Bai Lingsu had subdued Su Linger. Wait, just as Bai Lingsu was about to pierce Su Linger's skull, she was stopped by Chen Qinghe. The girl turned back, her eyes filled with confusion. Master, do you not have the heart to do it? Bai Lingsu's tone remained cold, the killing intent in her eyes showing no sign of abating. As for this woman, Chen Qinghe felt that Long Shui was truly capable to have trained a disciple like Bai Lingsu. She possessed a high degree of sophistication in both her speech and her conduct. She is already a stray dog. Killing her now would hold no further meaning. With the Lin family having announced their withdrawal from the Western Wasteland, everything is now firmly within my grasp. The fall of the Shou family to Yifeng is inevitable. As for Shou Linger, Chen Qinghe had no intention of killing her. That would be far too merciful for her. She must witness with her own eyes just how terrifying the consequences of provoking the Changsheng Chen clan can be. Rumble, crack, boom. The sky over the Western Wasteland churned with black clouds, heavenly lightning roared, and thunder resounded across the horizon. A terrifying pressure akin to a rising tide flooded the space, sweeping down over the entire region, causing the heavens and earth to tremble. What is happening? The aura is truly terrifying. Quickly, look at what that is. Great saints, so many great saints. Quickly report this to the Patriarch. The various factions and clans in the Western Wasteland were frightened out of their wits upon seeing the figures in the sky, each one trembling like a bird startled by a falling bowstring. Damnation, we have bet on the wrong side. That bastard Shou Huanan is finished, and so is Xiao Song. Quickly open the clan-protecting Grand Formation. Summon all the experts of the clan and activate the teleportation array immediately. High in the sky, an army clad in black gold divine armor guarded the heavens, their aura immensely fearsome, each soldier wreathed in surging primordial energy. The pressure was so immense it manifested as a physical force, causing even the firmament itself to groan under the strain. Elder brother, the escape routes of these 7 major clans in the Western Wasteland have been sealed off by the Chen forces. We may now strike. Leading the black gold divine army was the commander for this campaign, one of 2 youths holding a brilliant golden divine spear, mounted upon an ancient great beast. With a golden gaze, Chen Hong's eyes were as sharp as torches, and his younger brother Chen Xiong, standing beside him with his sword in hand, held a jade slip to report the situation. Ever since Chen Qinghe met with trouble, the Chen clan had summoned all the experts within the family to descend upon the Western Wasteland. Leading the vanguard this time were the 4 outstanding talents of the Chen clan. They were the foremost formidable prodigies of the Chen clan at this current time. Chen Hong cast his gaze downward toward the Shou family below. He sneered internally, casting a brief glance at the information contained within the jade slip. He spoke, "The young master has spoken. Eliminate the entire Su clan without restraint or mercy. If even one person escapes, you shall report to the young master yourselves to face the consequences." Understood. Chen Xiong received the order and stepped away. Listen closely. Show no mercy. Kill anyone you encounter. Leave no corner unchecked. Understood. Hundreds of experts behind him replied in unison, their momentum surging like a rising tide. The lowest cultivation base here began at the Nirvana realm. Such terrifying strength was enough to sweep through the western wilderness. Chen Hong, acting as the great saint leading the vanguard, felt his killing tent rising. Regarding the Su family, if not for the slight connection they shared with the Chen clan 1,000 years ago, having been granted an engagement and secretly aided, which allowed them to reach their current prosperity, how could a clan of their aptitude ever dream of Fu to the Chen clan's young master? It is laughable that the Su clan in their arrogance sought to cling to the influence of the Lin clan. That wretched woman, Su Linger, even dared to come to our Chen clan in person to annul the engagement, bringing great humiliation upon us. It is an insult beyond measure. Warriors, follow me today to flatten the western wilderness and manifest the might of the Chen clan. Kill, kill, kill. Their war cries resonated through the clouds, and their killing intent surged like a torrential sea. Crack! A long spear pierced the blue sky, tearing through the darkness as it descended with an invincible posture toward the Su clan's territory. Rumble! The terrifying pressure was enough to make one's scalp go numb. The brutal strike of a great saint expert tore the Su clan's protective formation directly asunder. The elders and disciples of the Su clan stared with widened eyes, looking up at the void in sheer terror. They were met with silhouettes radiating formidable auras. What is happening? Who is bold enough to dare offend our Su clan? How could there be so many great saints? From within the Su clan's territory, a wave of Nirvana realm experts soared into the sky, rushing toward the horizon. Initially, they glared at their opponents, prepared to strike them down, but upon seeing Chen Hong, a true great saint, and the multitude of experts behind him, their scalps went numb instantly and the blood drained from their faces. Chen Hong let out a cold laugh as his terrifying great saint, an elder of the Su family, asked with a trembling voice. In the very next moment, with a loud boom, he was reduced to a mist of blood. Boom, boom, boom. Without a shred of hesitation, with just a single glance, those powerful experts of the Su family at the Nirvana realm exploded into blood and gore. What is happening? Is that a great saint expert? This is terrifying. The elders were killed the moment they crossed paths with him. Flee, quickly. Chen Hong's eyes surged with killing intent. He let out a cold laugh. The sect master has given the order. Leave no one alive. Remember, do not spare a single soul. Even the unborn child in the womb must be eradicated at the root. Every living creature must be cut in two. Upon receiving the command, hundreds of figures descended from the sky, their terrifying aura filling the disciples of the Su family with absolute dread, like tigers unleashed upon a flock of sheep, slaughtering them at will. Su Huainan's face was deathly pale. He was currently at the back of the family estate, preparing to beseech their great saint ancestor. Our ancestor is of the Chen family bloodline, yet they disregard our past ties and seek to drive the Su family to ruin. I beg the ancestor to emerge and save the clan from this crisis. Inside the stone cavern, there was still no response. Su Huan was frantic, burning with anxiety as his only hope now rested upon this ancestor. Rumble! The stone door exploded and an aged figure suddenly emerged, soaring into the sky while unleashing a supreme pressure that struck directly into the void. Chen Hong, who was overseeing the battle, sneered, "A dying old fool dares to resist." Chen Hong shouted, gripping the golden spear in his hand without a hint of fear. His great saint aura erupted, his primordial energy roiling as he lunged forward. As one of the 4 heroes of the Chen family, Chen Hong's strength was beyond dispute. His cultivation at the peak of the 9th grade Great Saint realm was truly formidable, even within the eternal Immortal Clan. The 2 great saints clashed violently. The terrifying shockwaves caused the sky to tremble and the very earth to crack. The Su family is not a place for anyone to trample upon as they please. The Su family ancestor roared in hatred, but Chen Hong did not care, his attacks becoming increasingly ruthless, the golden spear in his hand pulsing with primordial energy like a tidal wave, forcing his opponent into a desperate struggle. Across the Su family territory, the sounds of slaughter shook the heavens. Countless disciples wept in agony, plunged into utter despair. Yet, no matter how they pleaded, they were met only with a heartless massacre. This scene played out repeatedly across the western desolate region in various